Errors are not completely avoidable. That is why, in preparing accounting records, due care must be observed. However, if errors are committed, you can correct them with adjusting entries and by following these steps. Step 1. Identify the wrong entry. Step 2. Identify what should be the correct entry. And Step 3. Record a correcting entry to get from Step 1 to Step 2. These steps are helpful in analyzing the transaction and will guide you in crafting the adjusting journal entry. To illustrate, let's assume that on November 20, the accountant of Crest Company recorded a cash withdrawal made by its owner, Mr. Crest, worth $72. A debit to accounts receivable and a credit to cash worth $72. However, this entry is incorrect. The correct journal entry is a debit to Crest withdrawal and a credit to cash. Cash was correctly credited or reduced, but the transaction must have no effect on the accounts receivable account. We need to reduce the balance of accounts receivable to correct the entry. Also, the withdrawal account of Crest must be increased. Thus, to correct the entry, a debit to Crest withdrawal and a credit to accounts receivable should be made. Comparing the entry made and the correcting entry, you will notice that the accounts receivable is credited to reduce its balance. Using the same example, Crest recorded the correct accounts, but the amount was incorrectly recorded as $80. The correct amount is $72. So, the correct entry is a debit to Crest withdrawal and a credit to cash worth $72. If the correct amount is $72, then that means the amount recorded is overstated by $80. To correct the wrong entry, both the withdrawal account and cash should be reduced. To reduce and correct the balance, make a debit to cash and a credit to Crest withdrawal. What if the amount recorded is understated? If it is understated, we simply record another journal entry with the same account titles, and the amount will be the difference between the correct and the wrong amount. In the illustration earlier, let us assume that Crest made use of the correct account titles but with the wrong amount of $60. The correct amount should be $72. Now, for the correcting entry, simply increase the same accounts with the deficiency. Using the same example, Crest erroneously recorded both the account title and the amount. The journal entry made by Crest is a debit to supplies expense and a credit to accounts payable worth $60. But the correct journal entry is supposed to be like this. To correct this type of error, first, you must reverse the wrong entry made to remove the impact of the wrong entry on the books. Simply reverse the entry with a debit to accounts payable and a credit to supplies expense for $60. Now that the impact of the wrong entry was nullified, just record the correct entry. Debit Crest withdrawal and credit cash for $72.